Hello there! My name is Sloan, aka Art Plebe, and you're watching Strange Hungers on Total Party Kiss. Strange Hungers is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition horror campaign. It details the secret history of the infamous Fulcrum Expedition, and is played in the homebrew world of Senelji. Join us as our characters venture deep into an icy wasteland, and discover the secrets of the chaos at the borders of their world. Please be aware, this campaign includes themes of body horror, trans and queer experience, religion, violence, and loss of agency. As such, viewer discretion is advised. Now let's meet our players. Kiara is an Aasimar Warlock Cleric multiclass and is played by Pooja. Pooja is an attorney and TTRPG player, writer, and streamer. You can find her on Twitter at Pooja and on Twitch and Instagram at Poojabberwocky. Barden is a half-orc barbarian and is played by Shan Benian. Shan is a freelance illustrator and comic artist whose work has been featured in the Adventure Zone Crystal Kingdom graphic novel and the Alleyman's Tarot. You can find them on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at AnonBDraws. Owesh is a snow elf wizard and is played by Sarah Chafee. Sarah is a TTRPG content creator and performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at SarahIsCoffee, also everywhere else on the internet. Tazriel is a tiefling orc rogue and is played by VJ Harris. VJ is a platinum best-selling DM's Guild author, as well as DM, TikToker, and writer. You can find him on Twitter and TikTok at VJH Creations. Matthias is a human paladin and is played by Sloan Smith. Sloan is a stream producer, graphic designer, and TTRPG performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at ArtPlebe. And finally, Strange Hungers is written and DM'd by Alex Teplitz. Alex is a writer, game master, and TTRPG designer. You can find him on Twitter at Alder_Mancy and on TikTok at Aldermancy, as well as creating games on Ko-fi and itch.io at SwordGhost. Once again, our content warning. This stream will feature content including body horror, trans and queer experience, violence, religion, and loss of agency. Safety tools are in place for our players, and we can stop the stream at any time in the interest of their safety. Thank you so much for tuning in. And now, on with the show. Hello!
Hello, and welcome back to Strange Hungers.
Thanks for the raid!
Last we left off. Thank you for the raid!
Thanks for the raid!
Hello,
Thank
hello.
you, Sinatrom86.
Let me see if I
For the
can...
raid.
SO.
Okay. Last we left off, the Fulcrum Expedition finally made their way back into the town of Lyport, but not before a brutal interaction between Matthias and Dorian, his ex. After a fist to nut combat and divine slap to face, Dorian sulked off and was comforted mildly by Kiara. Upon returning to the town of Lyport, the expedition made their final preparations to set off, enjoying an evening of dance, company, and making sure all arrangements were set to board the ship Guildstar, led by Captain Brokgron. Dorian and Matthias parted ways, leaving some unattached strings, but resolving to hopefully see each other at some point in the future. There was a confrontation between Oesh and Barton about a conversation that would happen in the future, but mostly our party prepared to set off across the Quickthal Ocean towards their destination, the Frostlands, the Factory Wastes. Sloane's making a face. Is everything good, my
Sloane has
producer?
been struggling.
Playing,
I'm
like,
Barden.
the sliding
Janice
puzzle
DM.
game.
I did it!
I'm
did
DM
it.
again.
Yes!
Nice.
I was already
sorry.
crying and we haven't even started.
So sorry.
On that note, where do you all find yourselves upon the deck of the Guildstar?
Guildstar!
I think last moment I took Neve by the shoulder and let her down under below deck, so I am not on the deck of the Guildstar anymore. Don't be fooled. But after a few minutes, Neve can come up. I don't think that Oash was doing any huge education at the moment.
I was moving around. I have
like
something that I
leaning over
wanted to
the-
say to Taz real quick, if y'all are okay with
yes.
that.
Please.
Yeah, Matthias is gonna go find Tazriel.
He's just leaning on the side of the rail, looking back at the shore, kind of wistfully.
Oh. Tazriel, I had a bit of a request. I would be very grateful if you could perhaps help me with the training for Neve. I know that you are a knight and have experience, obviously, with combat, and you're very competent, and I think that it would be very helpful for me. The last few days have been a little trying, so...
Yes, no, of course. I'd hoped to do a little training with me myself, and potentially the rest of you. But yes, I'm more than happy to help. And I think he'll step a little closer, not I don't know. He's just stepping closer and says, I know this is just fun and casual, but I'm here to listen if you need to talk. Everything very stressful.
Thank you. I think I'll take you up on that. We'll all have plenty of time to talk. Have you spent a lot of time on ships? Ocean travel?
Alex, is there a specific time frame that I can't say I've been on the ship? Because otherwise I'm just gonna go for it.
I will say that living mostly in the Empire, you would have traveled on river ships, not on actual ocean ships. Even traveling from the Empire to Aranobara, you might have traveled in part by boat, but you have probably not spent a lot of time on actual ocean.
I've been on river ships, some boats, traveling to Aranobara, but on the actual ocean, not so much.
And how are we feeling about it?
He's not, he's like, I'm not seasick, so that is the most important thing there.
Yeah, that is. I hope it stays that way.
You've been on boats a lot, haven't you? In the open ocean.
Frequently enough. I've made this passage a few times.
Anything we should be worried about?
Well, ice. We're pretty far north for pirates, but sometimes that is a consideration. And there's all kinds of sea life that can make things difficult, but I think that for the most part, nothing too intense to worry about.
All right, well then, onward on this great journey.
I think before Barden tries to get a job on the boat, she does kind of nip over to Taz and just be like, you did manage to get that letter in the post before we left?
Fuck me, how is he saying this? Shit,
You know exactly what to say, but I'm not telling you. You circumvent your way out of it, rogue.
And he'll just, you know what he's gonna say? He's gonna say, he'll lean over and just say, SK got the letter, which is not a lie.
Brilliant. Did you do it through the floor thing you do?
Yes, and that is a lie, because he didn't set that on fire.
Can I roll insight?
Oh my god, Shan, I'm tired of
Give
you
me
already.
deception versus. Wow.
I want
Being nice to your fellow players. Respect is very important at the table.
Fuck you,
I
Shan.
I want everyone to know I took expertise in deception just to lie to Shan.
Nice.
Yeah.
To Barden.
Just to hurt me.
Yes.
That's a 14.
Hold on.
Are you an earshot of Kiara? Because I just want to make like checks back here.
Yes. Sure.
For Kiara, give me passive insight because I don't think Kiara would be like, is Tazaril lying? Let me look at his body language.
I mean,
Even though Kiara knows Taz a secret?
no.
Oh.
No, you know I'm lying. If you hear me, you know I'm lying.
Well, yeah.
Okay, then fair.
Kiara's the one person who knows.
Then yes, you know he's lying.
That is an 18, so
Yeah, believable.
She is happy you did it. Just, do you think I'll be able to get a response while we're on the boat?
he's pretty quick to respond, unless he's like in the middle of a dire situation, and I don't think that's the case. So you might even get a response tonight, tomorrow. I sent it early.
Oh,
Who's to say?
oh, that's good. I hope they don't. Is it silly to hope they like me?
No.
You know, I didn't sound stupid. Silly. No, not thinking that. I'm good at what I do. I'm confident. She's still living up that buzz of the Matthias talk and just like, no, oh no, that's silly. I'm not doing that.
He'll say, he's like, I'm confident you wrote your letter in a very convincing and confident manner.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm gonna go see what I can do. And she looked for the person with. Wait, we've been introduced to Drock, haven't we?
Yes, you've all been introduced to Drock.
Her first instinct is to find the person with the fanciest hat because in her stories, it's the person with the fanciest hat who's the pirate king, you know? So.
Drock has a massive feathered hat.
In her head, she's like, stereotype fits. Heads over. Just like, hi, pardon if I ever sang. Haven't been on boats that much, but I'm strong and I guess put me to work where I'm useful.
Oh, I expect to put all of you to work. There are no lax hands on a ship like this.
Oh, of course.
What do you do?
I mean, I'm a very good writer, but I don't
Something
think that's what you
useful.
want. Rude. But I do. I'm very strong. I can push boxes. I can pull ropes. I can. She's trying to think of things that she's
Braid
read.
hair.
I'm very good at that. If
Well,
that's what you like.
Mine's already done, but that is appreciated.
I don't know. Good at climbing sometimes. Kind of
Climbing?
figures.
All right, that's useful. You can help out with Sar in the crow's nest if you would like, and also Datari might need some help unloading and sorting some of the provisions downstairs.
Absolutely. Is Asar around?
He is. Well, he's kind of bouncing around. He's very high energy right now. He was just talking to Kiara actually by the rail. So
Okay.
they're still finishing up that conversation at this point, and then he just sort of turns and looks.
Do you need a hand up there?
Well, I don't know if there's much to see right now, but you're welcome to go give it a shot.
I mean,
Take me.
yeah,
Take me.
One person at a time, unfortunately. I've been told off
Yeah,
about that a lot.
it's fine. Yeah.
Oh,
I can do that. I can do that. And she kind of, for a second, kind of realizes how tall it is and sort of goes, feels like yesterday all over again. With less words.
Barden, hold on. Kiara's gonna
Yeah?
bound up to you and cast guidance.
And imagine it feels very warm,
Very
like
warm.
just a little frill of heat.
It's like, you
and
know,
then
like
she
the whiskey warmth in your chest. It's like that, but without the bird.
So how, is it a rigging situation? Is there a ladder?
So the crow's nest is one of the masts, that second back mast there, has some rope sort of tied around it to give you some handholds, but it's not a rope ladder. It's just climbing.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to use one of my new things, Alex.
You?
But I want to use it flavor wise. So do you want me to roll to climb?
Yes, absolutely.
I think it doesn't.
That would be an athletics
technically-
check.
I technically might not need to if I'm using the thing.
Well, why don't you tell me what it
Ro-
looks like as Barden climbs up to the crow's nest?
So you said it was a rigging situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's this moment of shit, this looks easier in books, and just sort of looking down at Kiara like, this is fine, and starts like hauling herself up, relying on strength, and then realizing like her hand isn't letting go. She like goes like that and pulls, and the rope is still attached to her palm. And she's like,
Are you okay?
just big thumbs up. Fine. Keeps going upwards and like gets to the top, and I bet it's I bet it's like really beautiful freaking view, but she's just staring at her hands like, what the hell is that? And she's just staring, and I can imagine there's these tiny little silky hairs that have just sort of sprung up from her palms, and she's like, Dad said that this might happen if I did that too much, but no, that can't be. Ugh. Ugh.
I'm not muted.
Okay. Let's just look. And then she just spends the rest of the time her hands like clamped shut and just going, yep, ocean, and that's her.
Wow. Thank you. So you now have a climbing speed of 30 feet, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Damn!
Excellent.
What the fuck?
Also, I'm gonna say
My best friend is hot.
I can climb on any surface, including the ceiling, without making a check.
Yeah.
That is
Spider climb.
absurd. Bug.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Bugged in.
Hot.
Okay. You, from your position in the crow's nest, if you'd like to give me a perception check, Barden.
Say that again?
You can give me a
Perception check.
perception check, yes.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was
All good.
excited. Ba-da-bum. Come on. Oh, it's only a 10.
Okay, with a 10, as you look out, Barden, you see a sight you have only seen a few times. The coast of Skyhome receding away from your vision. The mountains along the coast, Lyport, the location of the sealed tombs, shrink away, and far in the distance, in deeper blues and navies, you see cresting up the mountains and valleys of Upper Skyhome to your north. Behind you, the docks shrinking away, the small towns. You see that massive flat expanse from the ocean, not infinite and reflective, but rather sloping gently away. The colors fading from those magnificent blues or the reds and oranges of a sunset into a soft white fog as you leave it behind.
She takes a minute, I'm guessing they still have their bags on them, but she's pulling out her notebook and she's sketching it for her dad.
There are a bunch of pillows up here in the crow's nest as you settle down and sit down. It looks like there are also some ink materials and other sketchbooks that have already been left here. Asar spends a lot of time with you.
She really wants the work, but not without his permission, so she's gonna leave it. But she will ask later. Yes. She's happy and just keeps on sort of doing the kind of flexing and just feeling at times it just going resisting.
You are up in the crow's nest. Kiara, what are you up to? Asar has returned to his duties. He is rushing around directing the two kobolds as they are also untangling rope, letting out the sails.
Kiara is kind of trying to I think acclimatize herself to the boat. She does not have much experience with water-based travel other than what they've done with the party. And so I think they're just walking around looking at things. Not yet a menace, but we're verging on it. So I guess they're gonna see Oasia isn't on the boat. Barton's up there. I guess whoever they see first, Taz or Matthias.
I mean, the two of us are talking with each other, so Matthias is probably passing Tazriel the weapons, training weapons that he's bought, and they're just talking.
Okay, so then I apologize. Kiara's gonna walk up to behind, not super close behind Matthias, but kind of approach from Taz's eye line. And just start gesturing wildly, basically lying to him too. You dirty little liar. But without words, because they're just trolling.
I make a mind connection with Kiara using my one free one, and it lasts for 5 hours. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Sorry, wait, hold on. Let me get the accent back. What are you doing?
And I'm listening. I'm imagining Matthias. You're talking to me right now, and I'm just like nodding, and keeping my expression as helping Matthias. What?
The same way you helped him the other night, or the other night, or that other night.
Not in public. What is wrong with you?
I don't. Listen, how long are you going to just mess with Barden? She would be so happy with the truth.
I'm not messing with. And like, actually, as you say that, Matthias, you watch like his face is just kind of neutral. You watch his face kind of just like it kind of like before he fixes back up, and in your head he goes, "I'm not messing with her, okay? I have my own trauma, all right? I want to help, but this is what I can give, okay? I'm not doing it to be mean."
You're a surprisingly good liar.
Oh,
But I guess I should expect that from a knight.
Kiara.
Hi!
I think Matthias kind of like has said a statement and Taz just didn't respond, and he kind of like looked over his shoulder and then like saw her. It was like, oh.
Oh, did you run down?
Is something happening?
No. Sorry, Matthias. I just got distracted by Kiara walking up. What did you say to me?
It was very, very unusual. Usually, Taz gets distracted when, other people walk up, not me.
You keep the training weapons. I'm going to go ask if I can do anything.
Will you be able to train me? I want to learn how to not be useless in fights.
You're not useless.
And have you seen me hit something?
Yes.
I think can Kiara try to punch Matthias?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Sure, give me an unarmed strike. You use your strength, and you are not proficient in it.
I am not proficient in shit, and my strength is sick.
So roll a d20 and subtract your strength.
12 minus 2, a 10.
Shockingly, that doesn't hit.
Impact is made with no physical damage attached.
I understand what you're
Did
saying.
it hurt me is
Yes.
the question. Okay.
Sure.
But people fight in
Did
a
you
lot
feel
of
that?
different
Be
ways.
honest.
I felt it.
Did it feel any different than this flat palm against your arm? Like not hitting, but just like does her punching feel different than her touching is the question.
I understand what you're trying to say. We will train, but that doesn't mean that you are useless in a fight. We're just going to expand your skill set.
Okay. I just want to not have to be completely helpless if something is attacking me and I need to like hit, like if something is running by right now, I can't really do anything about it. I just want to be able to like, go back.
I can help with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. We'll do that maybe tomorrow. I'd like to get settled in first. And he's going to just he just walks up to somebody. He doesn't even necessarily ask the captain for permission because he's assuming that he can just do this. He's going to walk up to one of the people who are like heavy lifters on the boat and just be like, I have hands. Let me help.
The tall 7'5" orcish woman, Datari, has in one metal hand about like 3 backpacks, just kind of holding them. And with the other hand is like scooping up a stack of crates. Yes, come over here. And then like just kind of slides the backpacks into your arms.
Great. And
You can tell that her strength is probably equal to yours.
damn. All right.
And also, Matthias, will you just give me an athletics check if that's what you want to use for
Yes.
assisting out on the boat here?
I'd love that. Finally. some good fucking food. Choo. That's a 25.
Okay. You not only keep pace with Tatari, but are significantly contributing. She brings you downstairs. You can see that there is a sort of dining room area. The layout of this ship is there's a lot of like sort of squirrely hiding holes in different rooms and things. So there actually isn't a very open, there's an open area on that like main below decks, and then there's a second below deck with a lot of storage in other rooms and animal crates, things like that. So on that main deck, she kind of shows you over like a dining room area where she prepares food. There's actually a washroom. It looks like there's some kind of recycling water setup that was maybe Uarnal Baran made.
That's sick.
So there's like recycling hot water on the boat as well, comes up from the ocean and then spilled out back into it when it's dirty, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
So you help her unload a bunch of different provisions, spices. It looks like they're also carrying maybe some food goods to trade that she like puts away in a separate section. And you find a nice selection of different teas here on board. Seems like someone is fond of them.
Hell yeah. Nice. Cool.
Cool. So with that, Oish, what are you up to?
Oish took Neve below deck and is probably looking for a more private location just for a very quick conversation.
Well, would you look at that? We can go below deck together.
What?
Yeah, if you walk over to
Oh
that.
my god. Hang on, I gotta get over to portal. Go to
Matthias, wait, let me give Sloan creator permission so they can go look at our...
Nice, a toilet.
There's a little bedroom area.
A little bedroom area. Is anybody in there?
Not right now.
All right.
Everyone
hell yeah.
is doing so many things.
Well, sucks for them. We're going into the bedroom area. I can't go into the bedroom area.
Just
There we
assume
go.
Kiara is harassing Tassamore.
Okay. Oish takes Neve into this room and then stops, turns, gives Neve a once over and says, all right, let's see it.
What?
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm not supposed to show anyone.
If you want to survive, you are going to have to show one. But that's a good instinct.
Do these doors... Yeah. She just backs up, like still kind of looking at you, like steps back a little bit towards this bedroom area entrance. There are 2 beds in here and some sleeping bags. Looks like this might be more of a crew sleeping area, but arrangements are going to shift around, and just slides a little wooden latch over so the door closes.
Yeah.
Drock likes to have a lot of different sort of hidey hole areas. I'm sure you know why. Steps on over to that bed, sits down, arranges her long skirts. And then reaches down and just sort of lifts the hem of those long purple skirts up. And you can see that she's wearing some kind of very tight-fitted boot on both legs, but one of them has some wrappings around it. So she's got sort of these like pulled up warm leggings kind of thing. And then she undoes the boot and pulls it off and shows you the inside. There's some kind of foam material that's actually been packed into this boot. This is something you haven't seen before. It looks like it's pretty comfortable. And underneath
New technology.
New technology. Underneath the boot, her leg, instead of tapering down to a foot or a hoof, as some tieflings might have, the purple skin becomes a darker color, almost iridescent black, scaled, clawed at the end, but not like a dragon claw, bug-like. Strange. Only coming up to a little bit past her ankle.
Oash drops to their knees carefully and reaches out a hand and then looks up at Neve and says, "May I?"
It feels kind of funny.
I know.
Okay. If you think it helps.
I don't know. Is this where it stops?
Well, there's other places.
And how advanced is it there?
I don't know what you mean by advanced. It just kind of started.
What information were you given regarding this?
None.
How much is your mother affected?
Mom uses a chair.
I'm going to take a look. Oash takes Neve's ankle in their hand and for the first time ever in their lives casts Identify on this curse.
Will you give me an Arcana check?
Mm-hmm. It almost feels sinful, but there is a relief to it as well. Not fantastic. I rolled a 9, so that's a 17.
A 17. This is your first foray into it. I will just straight up tell you this curse has a higher DC than that to really understand some of the root cause of it. But this is still the first time you've been allowed to extend magic out to examine this. And there are a few things it tells you. First of all, that it is difficult to understand. That this isn't something you could lift with a single spell. It isn't something that is easy to detach from the person who bears it. Considering your exposure to it before, you know it is in many ways degenerative, but more of a change than something that physically withers away the body. And the nature of it seems not tied to any school of magic besides maybe transmutation. This isn't a spell that has been laid upon her. This is something in her blood.
Yeah. All right. This isn't the last time I will be doing this.
That felt very strange.
Do you... This is the first time I have been able to examine this in any kind of arcanic nature.
You didn't help Mom with it?
In certain ways, some people do not want to be helped, and the most that we can do is give them what we can.
You're very nice.
That is an interesting perspective, Neve. Oh. Sloane's computer froze. Beep bop boop.
Giving it a second.
It's actually nice that we can hear them sing.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Are we back?
Not on my stream.
Yeah. Da-da-da. Hang on, I'll put something in the chat.
There we are.
All of
Hello?
us. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Ooh, yes, I think we're back.
Excellent.
Ah. Amazing.
Interesting perspective.
I had a great desire to help your mother. I do not think that she will forgive me for helping you, but
Well, she didn't help me. So,
that's very apparent. It's good the way that you've hidden this. I wanted to see how far it was because I am certain that my traveling companions will want to engage with you in certain ways, and I wanted to ensure that it would not show. At least at first. I do not think that it is something that you always need to hide, Neve, but I do think that its discovery may have some political implications that we may want to hold off on.
I've been thinking about it while I've been traveling with this crew after I stowed away. And I think even though Mom didn't really talk about it, she kind of talked around it. She said it was very important for her to maintain some kinds of appearances, and that I also had to protect her and my father in a lot of different ways. And that there was a reason he was around.
Did she ever speak closer to that reason?
She said it was for grandfather, and that loyalty is very important, and safety, and that people
Do
might
you
not
feel-
understand.
Do you feel any loyalty to your grandfather, Neve?
He's family.
I'm going to say something to you that I do not think I could ever say to your mother.
Okay.
Family does not do the things that that man has done to you and your mother.
He hasn't done anything to me. He buys me a lot of nice clothes. He paid for my education, some of it.
Yes, he loves to throw money. Ooh. Ooh, ouch. I am at a conundrum. If your grandfather were to take a blow that would take his life, Neve, it would not kill him. Do you know who it would kill?
Will you give me a persuasion check?
Scary. I'm not good at persuasion. I'm good at deception, but not at persuasion. Oh, shit. I guess the dice want me to have a nice conversation with my fake daughter. That's a 19.
A 19. No. But people have tried to hurt grandfather before. I know he says his position is very dangerous and important for the coast. So maybe a bodyguard?
Your mother.
What do you mean?
I don't know how he does it. But his pain is her pain, and when she is gone, his pain will be your pain. That is not something that a family member does.
She's already sitting down. She kind of pulls her ankle away from your grip a little bit and shrinks in on herself. Are you sure about? Are you? How did that happen when you knew Mom?
Not in ways that I understood, but now in ways that I do.
I want to do a safety check-in. There are elements of potentially Tyra's backstory for everyone that suggests she might have been the victim of domestic violence, but was not actually the victim of domestic violence. There are also elements of the way that Simon is connected to Tyra that are in many ways unhealthy and abusive. So I want to check in with the other players while we're witnessing this conversation about how we're feeling about that. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Cool. Then Neve sits, she's sort of thinking it over, and she says, I never really liked my dad very much. I always thought he was hurting Mom, but she said that it was, she had been through a lot and she still snuck out sometimes. And so she said never to worry too much if she looked a bit beaten up. But I guess that kind of makes sense, because Dad he didn't really have much of a backbone, and I guess I didn't really understand. But there were times when Mom seemed like she was having bad days or got hurt, and I didn't know why. So I don't really know how to understand or believe that, but I guess it kind of makes sense.
I did not mean for this to be part of that conversation, but you have to know that loyalty to your mother is one thing. I would not ask you to give that up. No matter what problems I may have with the way that she has handled this situation, I still hold a measure of that loyalty as well. Loyalty to your grandfather is something different entirely. And just because he is your family does not mean that I have not wanted for years to be the undoing of everything that he has done to you and your mother.
It's so wild to finally meet you in person after hearing all these stories. You're very something singular, maybe, but I mean, I do love my grandfather, Oesh.
He benefits greatly from that.
It doesn't mean that's not true. I also haven't talked to him in a few months now, and he said he was really excited for my birthday, and I ran away before, and I feel like I would just want to talk to him about it or something.
No. I know that you have just met me. I know that your interest in me is based in stories, legends, and tales that I am unsure that I can live up to in any way. But let me be clear about one thing. If you talk to your grandfather about these things, I will die.
I don't want that to happen. does he hate you that much? Does he?
I am everything that your grandfather did not want for your mother.
Well, that's not really his choice, is it?
Depends on how you look at it.
It feels kind of sore now. I'm gonna put
Put it
this. Okay.
It's a good way to hide it. Have you found that during physical activity it stays in place?
Fairly well. Gets a little bit sore. But I don't limp or anything, and I'm kind of getting used to it. Weirdly, working on the ship this much.
Just be careful.
I am pretty careful. But if you do think you can help, we can do this again. Just, I know there's not always that much privacy on a ship like this. I know a few ways that I snuck on have been sneaking around a little bit, so I can show you those. But you've been on this boat before, haven't you?
Many times.
Asar said. So you know.
I would like that.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yes.
Do you think that what you know is the way to help? Like magic?
I don't know. All I know is what I have. And all my life, that has been the way that I have made things work. If it is not the way, I will make it the way.
I believe you. Thank you very much. I might need just like some space to think about some of this, because yeah, I might just need to go like tie some rope or something.
Awaish just nods, stands, and points to the amulet and says, "It's good that you're wearing that. Don't take it off."
I like gifts.
Not surprising.
Okay. And then she stands up and she walks over and undoes the latch and looks at you for a moment, like pulls down the hem of her long skirts and walks up back to the top deck.
Mm-hmm. And Awaish is going to stay below deck now that the ship is cast off, especially. Prefer to have the roof.
Cool. All right. So we have our workers, our chronists, Taz and Kiara. You guys doing anything additional for the first few hours of travel?
What are you doing, Taz?
If Kiara's done making me feel like crap,
I love you.
hurt the ones you love, huh? God, what is he gonna do? What can he do on this fucking ship? He's not strong.
Dexy, though, it's good for rope shit.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Ooh, you want to teach me knots?
Alex, did I get my hands on some locks? Did I get my hands on some lock picks?
Yes, you bought a lockpicking kit, and I believe the price for that, I'll have to double check it, but you do have some extra locks and lockpicks.
I'll say there's something I got that I'd like you to learn.
Okay. I'm all yours to learn things.
I'll go in my bag and I'll pull out like just a lock and a lock picking kit. I thought maybe I'm gonna teach Barden this too, but I thought maybe it'd be useful for you in case we get separated or something happened and you need to break your way out of someplace and I'm not there. So
I can try. I'm not the most graceful.
that's okay. You'll get better at it. I mean, Barden's been doing really great with the Orcus lessons, so I have complete faith in you.
Okay.
And he'll take like 10 minutes to show her like the ropes of it, like it's like the lockpicks function as actual lockpicks, but it's essentially a training kit for you at this point, and just like quickly undo the lock. It's not a very complex one, but it'll definitely be it's still hard for people that don't have proficiency in it. Just like, yeah, so look, unless you're also jumping on the ship, you could practice with this.
I think I would just be in the way. It seems mostly they need physical things unless someone gets hurt. So I can focus on this until, at least for today, because I think Matthias said we'll start my training tomorrow. And Kiara's gonna just close her eyes, focus, and like basically guidance to help. And I think this guidance specifically will be aimed more at Agnida, because Kiara has a feeling Agnida would be pro Kiara learning mischief.
Kiara, as you release that guidance, Taz, will you give me a perception check?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Kiara, you feel something warm across the back of your neck.
22.
With a 22, an excellent perception check, Kiara releases that magic. There's a sort of surge of warmth within you, and you see just like slip over her shoulder a long orange cat tail before it like pulls back into her hair.
I say in our head because the connection is up for the next 5 hours. Did you feel something on your shoulder just now?
Yes.
I saw a tail, but it's disappeared.
That's wonderful. I just reached out to Agnida because they're always me. They always encourage me to learn how to do fun things. So I think that's them approving.
Excellent. And yeah, so like Pooja, essentially we're using those who wander training rules.
Yeah.
So we can figure out how long you're doing it and roll that later. But yeah, he's just gonna be like, here you go. And then go see if anybody needs help with some knots.
Nuts.
Awesome. You're going to begin some proficiency with, I would call that thieves' tools, most likely, which is always useful to have, especially with Kiara's dexterity is not too bad, right? So pretty useful.
I believe it's a +1, which is better than a -2.
Exactly.
Kiara's dexier than they are smart.
Mm-hmm. Barden, what are you up to?
I mean, Barden doesn't know how many hours she's meant to stay up. So basically, kind of keeps an eye on the on the deck. Maybe 4 hours.
Ooh.
Oh.
Give me an insight check, please.
Oh, okay. Also, while she's doing that, she has been doing little doodles and just like putting them between Asar's notebook as like it's a little cartoon Barden just going, hey. So, let me just. So that was an insight check.
Yes.
Come on. Oh, that was a 19 for a 25, baby.
With a 25. Oh, I'm so excited to share this information with you. So you are watching both out on the horizon and also as the crew moves around deck. You see Matthias lifting things, Kiara and Tazriel have their chat. Basically just preparations. One of those kobolds goes and starts like mopping and swabbing the deck, making sure it looks nice for the journey. All these standard preparations for a ship setting out. But the way that the crew interacts with each other is something that kind of stands out to you. I'm not even sure if you've seen it before, or maybe you just pick it up from stories, but there's not a deference that is paid to Drock that speaks to anything that would be military or professional. It's more like there's like a ribbing and a playfulness and a casualness to the atmosphere of this crew that makes you think they've worked together for a long time. They trust each other very intrinsically, and they've been through a lot of danger together. And then, just because I think it's delightful with the high perception you got earlier, you also start to pick up that they're shining away or being very careful to clean up some like gunpowder stains, some scratches, things like that. They were rushing to get this boat out. And with these elements combined, and then you just keep seeing that big feathered hat that Drock is wearing, you just get an idea, and you're not sure if it's because you're romanticizing or it could be a story. You get the idea that maybe this crew is not the most above board all of the time. You get the inkling that these might be pirates occasionally.
It's just the
Occasional
looking
pirates.
over and just looking over and just watching them and putting it together, and just her face going. And she's just like, wish I was on the call. I wish I was on the fucking mine thing. Ah, shit. Just have to tell them later. Oh my god. I can't write this down. I can't even tell anyone. This is bullshit. Oh. But I mean, if I go home, Dad can know. So that's all right. What a proper pirate. Pardon me. Just me. And as she's, how small is this chrysalis? Can you do like, if there's a space for her to walk a little excited circle, that's what she's doing. She's just pacing this tiny thing.
It's kind of just a one person. It's a decent size, but it's like the 5 by 5 foot square equivalent in D&D. So you can cross your legs, move around a little bit.
She's just like, should I just call out and go like, avast ye mateys? Probably not a good idea. I'll leave it. It's fine. She's just excited. She's just now drawing little doodles of herself in a big pirate hat. Because why the fuck not? But yeah, after that 4 hours, she'll come down and just a lot more gingerly in a different way than before. Just because now there's a new thing going on, and see if anyone needs her. All call to Issa and just be like, I think we're swapping. Is that okay?
Yes, I was waiting my turn and I'm very excited.
Oh, I'm sorry for taking your turn. I left you some drawings up there. I saw you have your books. I didn't look, I promise, but I'd love to see them later.
You draw?
Oh, yeah. And he pulls out the book and
he tugs the book out of your hands and then pauses for a second and moves a little slower.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay, oh, I didn't. That's so cool. I have, I'll show you some of my sketches. I actually do all of my own work.
Oh, yes, you were saying about the tattoos.
Yeah.
I'd love to ask you about that later.
Okay.
So I've never had a tattoo. I've tried.
I can change that.
I've tried. I went to a big night school. We kind of did it in the dark.
Are you a knight?
Ink pens. I didn't quite get there, but I went through the school.
You look like a knight.
Oh.
Actually. You kind of look like You look kind of familiar.
Possibly? Which one?
No, I don't remember very well. Just some story I might have heard or something. I hear a lot of stories.
So do I. I lived, I don't know if you know, but I lived in a library. I grew up in one.
You lived in...
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I've seen you before.
The Tome Laugh. Wait, seen me before?
Yeah. You were like small.
We met when I was little?
I was visiting Siren.
You know Siren?
Yeah. I was fixing one of his tattoos.
You did Siren's tattoos?
Yeah.
They're amazing. The bird is my favorite. I call him Engwin, but he doesn't know that. But I love the bird.
Oh,
that's my favorite one.
It's Ophi. Well, an Ophi before Ophi. Ophelia.
Oh, Siren never told me the name, so I just made one up. I like that one.
He
That's
showed
way
me
better.
how to do this, kind of. I mean, I perfected the technique and I put my own spin on it.
Obviously.
But he showed me how to do ones that they change and they shift and they improve and they sit deeper than the skin.
I think that's what I need.
Need?
I mean, I think that's why the other ones don't stick. The ink just falls out. You know what I mean?
Will you
That's
give
what they
me-
said.
Give me a persuasion. No. I'll call this give me charisma plus proficiency.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, charisma plus proficiency and you have advantage on it.
Okay. Oh, that was a 5. Oh no. What's my proficiency for
It should be a +3.
persuasion? Okay, so that is a 10. Why was
A
it?
10 with advantage?
Yeah. I just
Okay.
rolled real bad.
I have that problem too. And so does Jock.
Can I roll insight, please?
Yes.
She just kind of looks at him and just, oh yeah, I hear some people have that, but, oh, that's a 24.
There you go. Well, I'm not going to say it out to everyone, but you do think that there are similarities between you and maybe some of this crew. You know what it means.
Does he know what it means?
You're not, well, yes, he did pick up on it.
She kind of really looking at him. I think I'd like to talk to you about it later, if that's okay.
Can I go up in the nest first? Because I really want to.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go. Yeah, absolutely. Have fun, and I hope you like my drawings.
Bye. He scrambles up.
She just leans heavy against the railing, just. Okay. That's 2 things.
How about we take a little 5-minute break? Get
Sound
some
good.
water and stretch.
Hell yeah.
My friends.
What's happening here,
I
man?
love how it's just Sarah's voice.
Sarah's little guys.
It's my little guy.
Oh
And
my
everybody
god.
wild touched. Oh my god.
If everybody's wild touched, nobody's wild touched.
Are we good?
All right, lads. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Be right back.
Okay.
Bye. Where's the fucking break
Oh
screen?
my fucking god!
Bye.
Hold on.
We're back.
Hello and welcome back to Strange Hungers. The first half day of travel passes on the Queckthal Ocean. You guys pull away from and eventually out of sight of the coast. Now, we're going to be traveling for quite a while here on this ocean, and the Guildstar is a hardy vessel. I will tell you that the Guildstar uses, I will get you all the ship stats. This is a sailing ship, but it is slightly modified from the traditional vehicle stat block. Just what that basically means is that it is about 60 to 80 feet long by 20 feet wide. It can fit up to 30 crew and 20 passengers, but this is, once again, a sort of smaller or downsized sailing ship. So you guys are considered among the required crew to operate it at this point, making space for you. That does mean that passengers could be brought on, livestock can be brought on. There is a lot of space on this boat for things to be picked up, or if you do like travel between different areas, for people to be interacted with and to come on board. I've kind of just left the space for that since it seems like this might be more of a private mission. Drock didn't bring on a lot of other people, that kind of thing. Vice is also still traveling with you. She's also going to be helping out and be considered among the crew, etc. And just in general, the helm, the sails, the ballista on this boat, they all have their own armor class, etc. And if we do get into any kind of ship combat, which I don't expect to happen today or for a little bit, we're gonna like go over and kind of figure out those rules, play around with them, etc., etc. But operating on the actual ship combat and operating combat as characters on the ship will be a little bit different. So there's actually just going to be two modes we'll be operating in, which is the ship acting as a collective against possibly other ships or monsters or anything you might face on the water, and you guys as characters taking individual actions, meaning that if you're using your turns to like cast spells or like throw flames or shoot, you're not actually helping to steer the ship, which will make the ship go slower. So just considering for future combat encounters, you're either operating as a collective crew or as individual characters, which means you kind of get to pick if you want to directly engage or move away from on a larger scale any kind of obstacles. Sounds cool. Since we did just hit our level up, we are also going to be transitioning into a different style of resting for the time being. We're going to test it out, see how we feel. Since you guys are going to be traveling for a while on this ship, your long rests are now short rests, and you get a long rest once every 3 days. You can still take short rests as normal, but your long rests now count as short rests. So the spell slots abilities that you have last over the course of 3 days. We're gonna be like moving through travel at a pretty quick rate. Some days will just be like a single roll, but that means you do have to consider your resources more carefully. If that doesn't feel fun for us to play with and you guys are like running out of stuff really fast, we will absolutely adjust it.
This is exciting. It's like we just went, like, you know how on a video game screen you have like easy, difficult, hard mode? Like we just got our difficulty level adjusted. That's
Exactly.
I'm into it.
Cool.
It's pretty dope.
Amazing. You can still, of course, like take rest narratively, that all happens, but it does affect your hit points, etc. I believe you all should now be at your maximum hit points. You did get a long rest previously, and charges have come back on different items. So we're kind of starting with that fresh slate, but going into this second half of the day's travel, we're gonna have sort of a collective boat check. So in this case, this isn't going to be adding any kind of player abilities or player things. Anyone can roll it. I'll just ask one of you guys to roll it. But I would love if someone could make for me a survival check using what is the boat stat. So that is a +2. So will someone roll a d20 for me and add +2?
Can I do it? Anybody got a... Okay.
Go for it.
Can I guide this check? I don't
No.
know. Okay.
Okay,
check.
not bad. 17.
Okay, that is excellent. And then could I get, this is going to be basically a navigation handling of the boat. Because you guys have actually been contributing today, this is going to be with advantage. So a boat handling check, that's going to be also a +2 with advantage. Could someone roll that for me?
What is that one? Sorry.
+2 with advantage.
And what's the check for?
To handle the boat. This is things like rigging.
I'm not making that check. I'm not up there.
Okay, I can do it. So advantage +2.
Yep.
Spit on your dice.
That's a natural 20, so 22.
Nice.
Excellent. 22. With everyone contributing, that's actually going to contribute a lot to how the next few days of travel go. Excellent. And then one more. Barden already made a general perception check, but anyone who takes time in the crow's nest or anyone who is deliberately looking out can also contribute to this check. The general perception of the crew is a flat roll, but since Barden looked out and Asar looked out, that's going to be a +2. So that's not advantage. That's like however many people take time during the day to look out, you get bonuses to your perception. So actually, Shen, why don't you roll me a d20 and add 2?
Please. That's a 12. Rude.
A 12. Okay. So 17, 22, and 12. That is excellent for your first day. The rest of the day goes by. You see the crew starting to fall into a rhythm. You see Wine, that tabaxi, walking around, seems to be kind of just filling in a little bit for Asar, because Asar is very easily distracted. You get the feeling that there's some kind of dynamic there where Asar is very willing to let Wine take on some more duties while he is fucking around. You also don't see Drok a lot. They are spending a bunch of time in their quarters, which are underneath the front of the boat. Seems like maybe they are mapping or navigating. They'll like walk around with a map in their hands occasionally, just like strut around the boat, looking over, but is leaving a lot up to their crew. Like I said, there's a natural rhythm here where they don't have to be looking out all the time. The first thing that you collectively notice as you are traveling is that once again the temperature is dropping, and also the color of the water starts to change slightly. On the coast, there were a lot of like these crystalline materials, like salt rocks on the beach, etc. The water was just a bit lighter, but as you travel out a bit further, the water color gets a slightly deeper, darker tone. The smell of salt in the air changes as well, almost like the feeling of an oncoming storm, but just constantly and very faint, like a bit of electricity and a slightly sour odor. And I'm going to tell this to Matthias, since you've crossed before. And this is some information that I haven't revealed to the party, although some of the player characters might know it. But one of the things that the Kvek Dal Ocean is known for is oil. Oil, not just from beneath the waves, but a particular oil that is found in numerous monstrosities in these waters. There is a particular kind of substance that many sea monsters or tainted creatures produce that can be used to fuel ships to travel faster. Hello, hello.
Hi, Raiders.
Welcome in. So those particular kinds of oil, you can actually use them to change the weather. You can use them in any kind of like steam powered or mechanical element, especially in Awarnalbara. They are used in the production of the few guns that have been made. They can be used to fuel your ship's weapons, meaning that if you acquire some of this oil, you'll be like weapons on the boat will get a certain number of explosive charges, for example, or like be able to cast a fireball off of the boat, things like that. So the scent in the air, Matthias, is familiar to you because it is the scent that accompanies some kind of oil mining operation or drilling or the spilling of blood of a monster nearby.
Got it. Super cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is most often called deep drop.
Deep drop. Got it. All right. Word.
Cool. Now, there are a few more opportunities for roleplay, but if everyone is okay with it, we can actually pass through to the next day. Yes, please.
I don't have roleplay. I have questions. You can go ahead.
Yeah, no, Alex, I don't need it to be roleplay per se, but I just want to say that like when it got darker, Taz went off to his own little private corner, and he spent like probably an hour writing in the book that he bought to give Barden stories when she learned Orcish, and to write the letter from SK.
Yes.
And I think I need to make a forgery check for that.
Yes, please give me a forgery check. In this case, this is more about disguising your own handwriting than like trying to mimic someone else's. So I will allow you to use either your wisdom or your dexterity plus your proficiency.
Plus my proficiency?
Are you proficient in forgery?
No.
Oh, then dexterity or wisdom.
Damn, I was like, Alex, are you being
You almost
nice?
got away with it.
Actually, before that happens, I'm gonna go over to Kiara. Hey, can I... Oh wait, teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Kiara now has a hat you haven't seen before on her head.
Could I get some guidance?
Of course. What with?
Wait, Pooja, did you ask me what it was for?
I said what with? Yeah.
Oh, I'm Jesus Christ. I got a forgery kit to write this letter to Barden. I just need help so I don't get caught. Come on. Don't look at me like that.
Only someone was
You're asking me
proficient
to
in
help you
forgery
lie to
on
my
this ship.
friend.
I'm
Okay, I will help you only because it's helping her. I can see that this is helping her, and so I will help you.
Look, I wish I could just be honest and upfront about this, but I only told you because I thought it would help you. Like,
It did help me, and I think it's going to help her too, but I can't force you to tell her anything. And because it's helping her, even in this way, I will help you. Actually, hold on one second. What? It is close to nighttime, right?
Yes,
All
this
right.
is pushing into the evening.
And mechanically, what are you about to roll? Dex, right?
yeah.
Um,
Manage.
Kiara is going to do first your the usual guidance you're used to her doing, but then I do not think she's done this before, but she is going to take a minute and touch your hand and cast enhance ability.
Yes!
Which ability?
Dex.
And which one is that?
Hold on, give me 1 second. I have to
Is it cat or eagle? I think it's a cat, right?
I think it's Cat's Grace.
Perfect. I was hoping it would be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Agnita!
Well, Annie. Oh, and it's so beautiful because you just saw Agnita. Cat's Grace. Advantage on Dex checks, and the falling doesn't matter at this point. But I'll, there's also, and I will be using pack slots. A pack slot for this.
Okay. Since you're using a packed slot, and since I think it's nice if you don't mind me adding some flavor, the way that this spell manifests on you, Tazriel, is that you actually get some like little golden cat paws and little like claws and things, and your hands move a little bit faster and more dexterously. So you get quite literally cat paws to write your letter.
Tell Agnita, thank you.
Kara's gonna close her eyes and then open one and say, I think she liked that.
Okay, here we go. I'm deceptive, but that doesn't help this. Oh, fuck me. Oh, thank fuck God for the advantage, because that was a 5. But I rolled a 19, plus my own 4, which is a 23, plus the guidance, which pumps it to 27.
Woo. 27. Okay. No one could tell this was written by you. No one. Nope. Not even a wizard. In fact, this is Tazriel, you think one of your best works of craftsmanship ever. Yeah, you have that letter. If it's already written and you want to read it out or give it to Barden to read out.
Oh, yeah.
Receive it in the evening.
It is.
You want to send it to me? Send it to me on Discord?
Yeah. Okay, so what happens while I'm sending that, while I pull this up, I got a little folder, is Taz will go find Barden and say, you've been progressing really quickly really well in your Orcish trainings. And I told you I would share a story once I thought you had gotten really, really good at it, or to a point. And so I do have a story to share with you. It's one of my, I like to sleep around already at this point. So
I was about to say, is it a sex story? Because that's the vibe I'm getting.
I mean, it is, but it's not like I'm like.
Did you write me porn?
No, I did not write you porn. Like, there's very little.
Smut.
But I didn't write you. Like, there's like a little bit. It's a funny situation I got myself into. I did not write you porn.
Okay.
I didn't write you porn.
Sure, Jan.
What's that Skyrim story the lusty Argonian made?
The lusty Argonian, no, the lusty Abjurian orc.
Yeah, Bond is just like, oh, if you say so.
I didn't write you porn. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? She's teasing.
Are you asking me to write you porn the next time? Because and like, I'm being loud, but his voice is like, do you want me to write you porn the next time we talk about something?
She's like, no, I'm messing with you. I thought it'd be funny.
He's blushing. He is blushing at this.
So flirty and can't take a little teasing.
She just like reaches up and like pokes his cheek because he's blushing. Just like, you're a bit more red there. And you're purple. Sorry, green. Sorry, I'm thinking of his outfit. Just like, go look for red. Poke.
Mm-hmm. And then he'll also he'll give the book and then he'll produce the letter. This came in my pocket and I opened it momentarily to make sure it was from SK at the bottom since we signed it, and it was. I haven't read any of the other contents. Didn't read the contents. I wrote them. I'm not a lie. That is not a lie.
But yeah, she looks shocked that it came really quick. Obviously they don't have a day job. She kind of jokes.
when we're not out and about, we're pretty quick in communicating with each other, and he's always been pretty fast as well. Can you get into that?
You've just sent me my one.
No. Sorry, 1 second, y'all. Apologies. Shan's teasing me as Barden got me all out of sorts, damn it.
You flustered.
While you are looking for that, I just wanted to say that we're going to push into the evening, so this will be one of the last scenes for today. I think starting up next in the morning, I also want to say that as time passes, I am going to be using my calendar, and I'll probably put that on Twitter for some folks as well. But this calendar is notable because the phases of the moon also change along with it, which is something that I keep track of, and the seasons are shifting. So not only while you're on the boat for the first few days, you won't have to make these, but you will start eventually making constitution checks or things like that if you decide to not wear warmer gear, which might just like shift how you interact with each other on a day-to-day basis if you're a little bit more sluggish, that kind of thing. I am working on a table of cold weather conditions that are different than just freezing or damage, but that are things like you move a little bit slower, or some of your like spells or abilities might take a -1, that kind of thing, or you like lose your appetite, little like bits. Did you pull that up, BJ?
Barton is gonna quickly scan it and just sort of look up and go, do you think he'd mind if I shared it with you? Or should I go off and...
That's up to you.
I wouldn't want to, like, you know, reading someone else's letter and their feelings to someone else is a bit unfair, like, you know. But what do you think?
I know me and SK are pretty close. Oh God, I gotta roll the discussion.
Oh.
He might as well be. He's like my brother. He's like my brother.
Oh, you're close then.
Like an actual brother.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. He's. So I don't think he'd care, and I will. Do I need to roll a deception for that? Like,
we've established, since you've been making a bunch of these deception checks, that for the time being, with the
Sweet.
quality of the forgery,
sweet.
like this is an ongoing, believable lie.
Also, Barton has seen your handwriting.
Yep.
A
Yes,
lot.
you have.
So this being so different. Okay. Barton's gonna they'll find somewhere to sit in one of the beddy rooms. Okay. TS. They use my name. Yes, our mutual friend has told me about you and the condition we share. And while I understand the veiled words for this conversation in general, I promise none other than the two of us, well, 3 of us, will be able to read our correspondence. When our friend told me about you, I asked a lot of questions. I haven't met someone like that. That wasn't someone I had to take care of to keep others safe. Take care of?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I hope it doesn't upset you that he spoke to me of the conversation you two of you had about letting him know if the problem gets worse. When he conveyed that you believed you would harm someone unintentionally, but you claimed otherwise. You think I... Okay.
Oh, I no, when I Jesus Christ, SK. No, I I explained our conversation, and maybe I didn't explain it to him properly. I told him that I thought you had, and then you corrected me. That's what the...
Are you sure?
Yes, I promise.
Okay. When my powers awakened after I was afflicted with them, I heard 2 of the people I was closest to. I couldn't stop myself, so while I'm glad you appear not to have dealt with that, I am saddened having thought for a moment that there was someone who could understand what I'd went through. But enough of sorrow. I wish to know everything about you. When did you get your abilities? Were you born with it? What can you do? That's a lot. As you could probably surmise, I wasn't born with mine. They were forced onto me. Poor thing. And if you've seen Tazriel's powers, you've seen mine. His abilities mirror mine, though his were acquired through arcane means and study of my own abilities. Oh, you mean brothers, like you shared your power?
Yes, I'm...
She puts her hand on your shoulder, leaning in, just, it's really nice of you to do that with them. It's a really good thing to do. You gave him someone to lean on. Like you've given me.
Oh God, he's controlling his face and making it look the way it should for this conversation, but his insides are on fire. He feels so Oh God. Okay, he's gonna have to talk to Kiara about this. Oh God. Okay.
She finished it and like SK, and she just sort of scans through it again just to kind of get it, and just folds it up, puts it away. I'll answer this in the morning. I've got a lot to think about. I'll maybe see you guys later to, sleeping. If we can work out if we're sleeping on hammocks or whatever. Thank you, Taz. And leans up to kiss him on the cheek. And just squeezes his shoulder and just, really thank you. I never thought I'd find people that would understand. And she heads out.
I think as soon as he's out, he punches a wall. He doesn't know how to feel. He's got so much emotions, and he's just like, oh, and probably hurts his hand.
I was gonna say, probably not wise to try to punch through the wall of a ship.
He
There's some.
he hurts his hand.
Bit of a splinter. Okay. Kiara, are you up to anything before bed?
Yes, that was actually the questions I had, was that what is the sleeping situation?
Yes, here we are. Well, I can take us all below deck now, obviously. This is not quite finished.
Yahoo!
But
I'm
it
just
will
like
be.
on Matthias's ass here.
Multiverse is... Here we go.
Wow.
Let me get Vice in
Welcome
there.
to the toilet, everyone.
There is a toilet here. I might also let you guys kind of pick some of your own sleeping arrangements as you like on this boat. We've got some different beds and things, some hammocks that can be rearranged as people like. Let me move my little wall there. So we have the crew sleeping area and then sort of a main sleeping area. There are ways for people to sleep also in hidden areas. There is another deck that is below as well. So as you pick, if you want to sleep collectively or separately, there are both private and open spaces.
Oh, you.
I would love to see if I can find a room that Vice and I can stay in together.
That is absolutely welcome.
Great.
My computer overheated. That's doing multiverse, so I can't move right this second. But I'll just go crash wherever Kiara and Barden are crashing.
Yes, and Kara's gonna not be sleeping alone generally, but especially not on a boat. But I think as folks are retiring later into the evening, Kara's kind of on a roll doing things that they haven't had a chance to do before. And how far is the room where Matthias and Vice have put their stuff in? How far is that?
Everything in this boat is less than 60 feet away from each other. So there are walls and soundproofing that's been put up, but you can go down that trap door or down that main staircase from the deck and find your way to it easily, 15 feet or so.
And is Matthias in the room?
I'd say you could find him. You could find him for sure.
Well, where are you? And what are you doing?
Okay, sorry.
You'll see why in a second.
Okay, if he's going to bed, he is just probably doing some stretches, because he worked real hard. He threw himself into it. He just went fucking hard as hell, so he's probably just stretching out a little bit, in the room, chilling, maybe doing a down dog or something.
Are you in a hammock? Oh, you're doing down dog. Never mind. So you're not sleeping in a hammock. Okay. So Kiara, what happens is Kiara walks by the hallway outside
Sure.
and is just like, "Are you okay? You had a good day?"
Yeah, you probably walk in. There's not a whole lot of space, but he's probably
He's taking up the whole room too.
He's found the patch of floor, and you can, probably as you walk in, you see his, you just see his back as he's, in the down dog position.
Okay, so they're not gonna walk in. They're gonna be like, "Can I? I think I can do something cool. Can I try it?"
What? Yes?
Hold on. If you're still a down dog, just stay there. That's fine. Kiara's gonna start, like, move back all the way to the end of the hallway and, like, start running a little bit towards you, but then disappear and smash right into you.
He fucking falls over into the table and probably knocks the light over. What? Why?
I think at this point they are sitting on top of you. They have landed on you.
That was very cool. Did I do something?
No, I was hoping to be able to wait, hold on. Climbing off of you. I was hoping to be able to move faster to help everybody, and I think this can help me move and heal faster when everyone's hurt. But I didn't want to try it for the first time in a fight because that seems like a terrible idea.
Right.
Well, Daz and Barden are busy, so you have to deal with it.
That seems very helpful. That when did you learn that?
Today.
Oh.
I had to do something while everybody was busy, right?
I suppose so, yes. That seems like it would be very helpful.
I don't think I can do it too much, so I should probably not.
Right. Save your.
It does take a lot of work.
Yes. Save your strength, but that would be very handy, I think.
Yeah.
Well done. That's impressive.
Thank you. But you're okay? You good?
I am, obviously I have many different feelings, but strangely, I don't feel any worse than I did before. I feel better, I think.
Some closure is better than none, even if it's not always positive, right?
I suppose so.
At least you know now.
And I'm very glad to know. I'm glad to know that Dorian is alive and free now.
And I think in your own way, I think you've helped him too, because he needed answers. He needed to move on.
Yes. Yeah. You're right. You're right. I hope that he can move on.
And Kiara's gonna just take your hand between hers. Are the talons out?
Always.
Yeah. So they're gonna take your hands between hers. Not at all bothered by sharp nails, almost like she hangs out with a giant cat or something. And we'll say, just, you've given me a lot of advice about trusting people, and so I think it's my turn now, but allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. instead of putting it away. I know you want to. I don't know you super well. It's only been 3 weeks, but I can tell. You want to put it in a box and lock it up forever. Don't do that.
Thankfully, I have plenty of time to process it and things to do with my hands while I do that, so.
And someone to talk to should you need to.
Yes.
And someone for other things should you need to. And Kiara will leave.
Good night.
Good night.
I heard you got trauma. Have you tried fucking about it?
And then leave back over the door
really
and just say,
well.
let me know if you need me to send anybody in here.
Thank you, Kiara.
Listen, you got
Listen, I
two
woke up and
options.
chose violence today.
I love you.
And then Vice walks in and throws her back on the bed and says, I'm taking this one.
Cool. Amazing. Cool. Love that.
Okay. Then
All right. One more thing. Sorry. One more
Yes,
silly little
please.
thing before we sleep. I'm imagining Taz and Barden are kind of like, they've taken whatever big bed they've got, that there's going to be like, it's the trio bed at this point. If that's right. Yeah. But as Kiara's like headed out to Nasa to Matty, Barden's just like, can you do the mind thing?
Yeah, I'll
Do you have any
use. I have a bunch left. Actually, before yeah, he'll use one of his die and yeah. And actually, he'll make sure to connect Kiara back into it.
Okay, yeah. But she can aim this just at Taz, right?
Yeah.
Has. She looks excited. We're on board with pirates. It's not a bad thing. No, I'm not encouraging stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. They're lovely.
I know.
You know.
Foggy. Boy. Okay. Foggy. Keep this to yourself.
Oh, I knew that. Full of secrets. Keep going.
Foggy told me that Oish was a pirate. And so I assumed that the crew were pirates.
Barden is literally doing this in front of her lips, even though she's not speaking.
To yourself. We never talk about this outside of our head.
I like the idea that they're laid down, but she's still going like. Okay, just be clear. Oish is a pirate. Foggy's a pirate.
I mean, that was it.
And everyone else here is probably a pirate.
Correct.
This is so exciting. I can't believe it. That's so cool. I've seen people on docks that are just, they have the vibe, but, never been on a boat with them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think this is amazing? I think it's amazing. It's like a story.
I will say I did mention to Oish that I'd been made aware that they were all probably pirates and that but not who told me.
Yeah, they'd probably just next time they saw Foggy just punt them off the dock.
Honestly, I've had my dealings with pirates that I had to deal with for the Empire, and I also have some contacts that are pirates. As long as this doesn't become a problem that I have to deal with as an Empire agent, I don't care. Pirates are people.
Yeah, it's the thing of you don't hurt someone until they hurt you, right?
Exactly. Look, it's not my job. This is not my job.
I'm not judging anyone.
Yeah.
Just based on that.
Honestly,
But I just wanted to tell someone.
mm-hmm. There was like a small time in my life when I was younger before I thought I was gonna run off, never see my parents again, and become a pirate. So
She kind of looks you up and down to I can see that, but the hat.
oh,
Have
no
a bit of
hat,
trouble with it.
no hat, no. Can't.
Maybe I
Gotta show the hair.
very like tentatively goes to touch your hair, waiting for you to say no, and just go. Probably stick some feathers in it. You know, just like it look quite. I think it look good. I think it
Maybe.
look. Just like very carefully, like stroking over. Just kind of, it's a texture thing. She's just like, and just like, oh, sorry. But yes, it's fucking nuts.
Also, Foggy mentioned to me about visiting some place called Black Blade. I've heard whispers of it, but I'm so tempted to go ask Oish about it, but I don't know.
Have I ever heard of Black Blade?
Yes, you do know what Blackblade is.
Do I need to roll for it?
No.
Okay.
Blackblade is a infamous pirate island. Very, very dangerous. But people don't really know the location of it. It's supposedly one of the islands in the atolls in the Prelian Ocean, but people aren't sure exactly which one is Blackblade.
Though I know it's very dangerous.
Yes.
If you wish someone there, it might not be a nice thing. And she just sort of goes,
Aww.
sorry. She just sort of goes, I think Foggy might have been fucking with you. That's like a death sentence. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not very, very good at what you do. You're quick and you're dexterous and very charming, but it's not a good place to go.
I gotta ask Oish about this.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you should.
Because if this is true, I'm gonna beat his ass the next time I see him.
I mean,
We're fighting about it.
yeah, I can see how you'd want to do that, but they're very small. Just be careful.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, those fish bite, so just be wary of that.
The connection's up for 6 hours.
And just like,
Do we share dreams?
oh
No. Okay.
that would be cool.
That
There,
would be fun.
just like, do we tell Kiara right now?
Maybe we don't tell the part about Oish being a pirate,
Yeah,
but you can
that's
tell the rest
that's
of
not
it.
our story to tell. Maybe
Yeah,
just
I
warn
only told
her.
you because
You're a gossip.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to say a thing. Oish can be whatever they want, as long as they become a bit less mean. But that's just me.
yeah. What's going on with you two?
I have no idea. I was meant to have a talk with her. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll sort it out later. I have no idea. Did I do something? Is there something I didn't see?
I don't know.
You know?
You'll have to talk to them.
Yeah, just straight up in front. Yeah, good plan. I've already said this to Matthias, but if they do kill me, could you send the sword back to my dad? It's good to have a couple of.
I don't think Oish is gonna kill you. They can come off. It's easy to misunderstand them. That's all I'll say. I don't think they're going to kill you.
I'm sure we'll sort it out.
But yes,
It's just
I will send the sword
I'm
back.
getting a lot of mixed vibes, and actually, they're getting less mixed as they go. They're just getting angry. We'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, actually.
Oh
Are you sure I can't hold on to the sword? Because it looks pretty powerful, and
No.
maybe I could.
no,
I'm kidding. I'll send it back to your father.
her face serious.
On
Like
my
she's
honor,
never been more serious about anything else.
on my honor, if it's within my power to send it, I will send it, and I will keep that promise.
It can't get in. It can't go in the wrong hands. I know not everyone believes what it is, but I feel like it's something that shouldn't be floating around.
I understand.
Anyway, I'm gonna use the call to Kiara, the mind thing, and just like, are you coming to bed? I need my cozy hot water bottle.
I was muted. Kiara responds yes, and then immediately after, because they weren't very far, you hear like the pitter patter of their feet as they leap into bed.
Yeah, I was about to say, they're gonna do like a dive, like
right into the middle.
Yeah, just immediately cuddled up.
Yeah.
That was meant to be shorter. I apologize.
It's all good. I have made the coziest bedrooms on this ship known to man. They are very comfy. With that, you all will gain the benefits of a short rest.
And I think that Awaish actually posts up in this dining room in trances, which is why I dragged them that way.
Oh, I see. Fantastic. There you go. Okay. Then the dawn of the next day, which I believe is Neth 10th. I'm probably wrong.
Oh.
I will double check. I'm definitely wrong. The dawn of the next day, if you guys have any rolls you need to make in the morning, go ahead. It is actually, sorry, the 8th of Neth.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm good.
Cool.
I have something on the 10th, but it's not the 10th yet, so.
Nope, not the 10th. Matthias, you can make your roll.
No
No
advantage. We're good. Everything's great.
Okay. All right. The dawn of this next day, wake up bright and early. Since you are finally readjusting to your sleep schedules, we're able to get back to normal. Just like that. Just like that. There we go. Ooh. Sorry. Since you're able to get back to normal, you can wake up early, begin to navigate around the ship once again. Now, once again, we are going to do our rolls for the day for the boat, but I'm going to give you guys space in the mornings, both for roleplay and for anything you're doing to assist with those traveling rolls.
Yeah, let's do it. I know that Kiara and I are gonna get all fighty today, but also I will help. Matthias is just staying busy. There is never a moment where he is sitting down. He is staying busy, so he'll continue to help with the strong boy stuff.
Okay, athletics check.
18.
18. Excellent. Anyone going up into the crow's nest at any point throughout the day? Pardon? Okay.
I mean, unless Kiara wants to do it.
I think Kiara will, because Kiara's going to be focusing on the fighting, Kiara's going to do what the thing they did last time they were on a boat, which is just whenever it seems like someone's going to do something big, they'll go guide and help that way.
Not Kiara, I just said that because you just spoke. Awaish, for being a pirate, as has been revealed to a few of you now, is surprisingly absent from like most everything. Yeah.
Okay. So then I am going to need once again, a survival check. Oh, yes.
Can I go find, God, I am so bad with names. Tall or
Datari?
Datari, yes. I know there's cooking, there's medical stuff. I want to go help with that. I want to see if there's any need for an assistant.
Give me a medicine check, or
Ooh, fuck yeah.
I guess a cooking check. Well, you could just give me wisdom if you want to do cooking instead.
Actually, let's do medicine because I don't have any bonuses. I don't have any bonuses to wisdom.
Okay.
Not a wise boy. 17.
Excellent. Datari is going through her medical stores. When you wander over to that kitchen or dining area, you find that she is rolling bandages, making sure everything is clean, dipping them into some boiling water that she's got going with that sort of like recycling water system where she can like light a little fire in a small metal box and then boil things over it. and she welcomes your assistance, is very grateful to have you, and you also just learn a little bit more about where medicine and first aid stuff is stored on this boat.
I want to say that he's just in earnest, so excited. Like he loves hanging around other orcs. It makes him so happy. And also like just his usual flirtiness, like maybe it's there for like a few seconds and he's like, yeah, no, and then just like, and not being his like.
Yeah. You eventually, I think just through this conversation, learn that Tatari is in an open relationship and has a girlfriend back home in Ornavara.
So you're saying there's a chance?
So I'm saying there's a chance. Excellent. So I will need someone to roll a d20 plus 2 for survival.
I got it.
Get it?
Bad. 8.
Perfect. Someone to roll a d20 plus 2 with advantage for boat handling.
I'll do it.
Get it?
14.
14. Excellent. And someone to give me a perception check, which is going to be a d20 plus 2 for Bard and NSR. Go for it.
That's a 17.
17. Okay. I will just hang on to those numbers for now. The day passes mostly uneventfully. It is getting a little bit colder, and we will do some Neve training today. But first, I think there is another conversation that might happen.
Yeah.
Be brave,
What
Barden.
a terrible time to
Be
have
brave.
to piss.
Oh, do you want to
go piss.
Do you want to have a bio break?
Go first.
You need to be comfy.
Train me, Maddie. Train
We
me.
can.
Yeah, something.
Let's do some training.
Let's do some training.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. You and me, Kiara. So, Matthias is gonna find, or when he sees that Kiara is awake, and like, I feel like at this point that he's probably gotten an idea of like when Kiara's fully functional. You know what I mean? Like fully online, has achieved consciousness. And so he's gonna, once he sees that they're responding, he will go and find them, and you. Ooh, no, I got it. He walks up. He's already kind of sweaty because he's been doing lots of heavy lifting and shit. And then says, "If you're ready, whenever you're ready, I'm prepared to do some training with you if you'd like."
Yes. Yes, please.
I'm not sure if you have any. Are you comfortable moving in that clothing?
Yes.
I mean, I think Kiara's in a shirt that you do not recognize, but they are still wearing their regular pants.
Okay.
That there's usually like an overskirt, but the overskirt is not on today. So it's just like the underpants. So it's kind of loosely like
shirt and leggings
flowy
kind of
pants
situation.
and a tunic, yeah.
Flowy. Okay, got it. Okay, I see it in my head now. Yeah. Okay. As long as you're right with something getting ripped or anything of that nature.
I think so, and I'm sure there's a sewing kit here.
Yes.
If something does get ripped.
Yes. All right. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna take you. He'll have tried to find like some padding that they can put onto the deck, like a rug or a carpet or anything like that exists.
Kiara comes with built-in padding. It's fine.
That ass. And we'll just begin from the beginning, and he's gonna start with stance and do like the basic thing where he'll have you just stand and then puts a hand on her arm and gives her like not a full shove over, but a hefty kind of like movement so that she steps, and then we'll kind of show her how to widen her stance and sort of drop lower into a more athletic situation, and then we'll try and give her another push so that she can like feel the difference between the two of them. And then I think that it's gonna start pretty easy and just like come to stand in front of her with the same sort of like squat, like athletic squat, and just have them hold each other's like forearms like this. And we'll just begin to kind of like move around and like try and move her weight, and sort of like invites her to start like pushing back and just seeing, like not trying to get her on the ground or anything yet, but getting used to the push and pull of like being in a situation like that. Cause he doesn't want to like stress her out. It's just starting real simple, real easy.
Yeah. And I think at first Kiara is a little hesitant because they've always viewed themselves as not being strong, and that being, they've never been able to rely on strength or really their own physicality as a means of protection. It's always been magic. But I think over time, Kiara realizes that they can do something that's not strength-based, like using things like center of gravity, like you're saying, positioning and squatting. Like they realize that, hey, I'm a hardy person. Like I don't need to necessarily hit as hard as I can if I can move right. And I think like slowly you see a little bit more of the confidence build in Kiara, in that like they're not just gonna get their ass beat automatically.
Yeah. There are many people in the world who practice martial, if you want to call them arts, or practices, anything like that. Most of the time, people are focused on the ones that you do when you're on your feet. Sword fighting, pole arms, even boxing, things of that nature. The thing is, once you get, even if you have a master of something like that, if you get them on the ground, and you manage to disarm them, they are going to have much less capability, because a lot of people don't practice that kind of grappling. They focus on what they have already, and they become very, very good at it. If you can get someone on the ground, you give yourself an opportunity to move away, to disengage, and to possibly get them away from their weapon. And luckily for you, you are, first of all, not so tall as I am, and you have a lower center of gravity because you have, and he kind of like puts his hands on either sides of her hips, like without, like not thinking about it, but just as like in full kind of teacher mode. You have wider hips and a heavier bottom half of your body than I do. And so your center of gravity is much lower. And if you can use that to your advantage, then you could very easily learn how to take someone like me, who is taller. Even though I'm strong, if you're able to manipulate my center of gravity, my balance, then you could knock me down. And that would be a great help during a fight. So we're just going to get a handle on, we're just going to get a handle on that. And then tomorrow, I think, we'll start trying to throw each other around a little bit more. Not violently, but figuring out the best methods
healing.
for you.
It's okay.
Right.
And maybe it's better for me to learn how to come back from being, well, not almost skilled like in that tunnel, but you know, like
We will practice, just like it's good to practice getting other people on the ground, it's also very good to practice getting yourself up off the ground. So we'll do plenty of that. Okay. We'll do plenty of that. As a matter of fact, we can do that now. And he's gonna kind of start, as they have been doing this, like this sort of dance almost, pushing and pulling. Once you kind of have like a little bit more of like comfort in that, he's going to kind of launch the two of you into some like conditioning stuff, and he is literally just gonna have you do like across the floors, lots of like animal walks. I don't know if you've ever done anything like that, but like duck walking and bear crawling and like a snake walk kind of situation.
Is there a feline option? Because they're really good at that one.
There are definitely definitely a feline option, but just basically a lot of different like things that kind of like open your hips up and get all of your leg muscles working, and your ass definitely hurts. Like tomorrow your ass is going to be so sore. And that's what they do for today, I think.
Out of character. Damn it, Slow, this is really hot.
I've been waiting.
In character, Kiara's focused, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is Kiara focused?
Matthias definitely
There's
like
some
gets into
purring in your brain.
Yeah, he gets into teaching mode and he like doesn't really think about the other like implications of like touching somebody on the hips or like on the ass.
This is for Vio.
I love it so much. And yeah, I don't know if we
Kiara
like
hears that purring, doesn't?
Fuck yes. I don't know if we have like a roll that we need to make or anything like that.
Actually, I think I will just take. What skill are you looking to train, Kiara? Is this something where you are looking for maybe a feat you might take in the future, or is this more getting a proficiency not on a level up?
I think this may end up being a feat thing because, like, I don't know how much a proficient. Well, I just don't know how much a proficiency is gonna help when you're rolling with a -2 and strength stuff.
Okay, interesting. Then we'll consider this a roleplay moment that contributes towards some kind of feat in the future. You finish up your training. The rest of the party is scattered around the dock. Rest of the party is scattered around the boat.
Barton Awish.
I pissed. I'm ready.
Okay. I'm imagining it's going to be a case of Barton having to find a wish.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Especially because you're up on deck and they've been. Yeah.
She comes down. Although I do love the idea that she as she's up on the crow's nest kind of looks down at one point and kind of hooks her leg over and just practices and see if she can just and pulls herself back up again and just goes back down and just
Very fun.
Looks around. Is Asar around?
Asar today is actually sketching and doodling a lot. He does take over the crow's nest when you're not in it, but it seems like he's working on some kind of project.
No worries. Just as they're going up the crow's nest, just like, do you know where Oish? Hi. Do you know where Oish might be?
Hard to find Sig when they don't want to be found.
Okay. I'm just gonna look around, I guess.
Good luck.
Have fun.
Thank you. I will.
left you a note.
Yes.
Just I like that they start leaving each other notes for the crows now. Barton's gonna check the deck. Gonna go to the second floor. Because I'm guessing we spotted you meditating in the morning.
Yeah.
Dancing.
Asar is very right. Hard to find Sig when they don't want to be found. However, Sig isn't hiding right now, so no worries. They're just not up on deck. You find them in the same place where they went into trance, the dining room, and they just have a lot of papers and books out, and they're working.
Hey, Oish, you think you might be in a place to have that talk?
Summons a mage hand, and all of the papers begin to get cleared up. Books closed, lined up. Sid.
She does. Opposite. I've been trying to think of how to start this with you. Like, I guess I've learned a lot more about people as, our journey's gone, and I guess I've been trying to stick you in a story, and that's just, like, I haven't been able to place you. You're just so many different things that I think you confuse me. But, sorry, that's beside the point. I need to know what our problem is.
That is the purpose for why you want this conversation.
I'd like us to be, if not friendly, then at least be able to talk to each other and have communication that isn't stilted. And I feel like you think I've done something, and if I have, I'd like to know what it is so I can apologize.
At least your first observation was a good one.
Also,
I don't fit your stories.
definitely not.
Fine. My problems with you, as you would foresee them, are twofold. One less of a priority, one more, so I suppose I should address the one with less priority first. And begin it with an apology of my own. I do not enjoy leveling accusations without first clearing my own conscience. Takes out a book maybe you haven't seen before. It's not anything special. It's just maybe a book that they've collected on their travels, and they start to mindlessly flip through the pages as they speak, and direct their focus down to it a little bit, and then say, I am sorry for the actions that I took on the boat. I understand that whatever my reasons may have been, they were not conducive to building trust within a party, and gave many people reasons to feel threatened by myself, my presence, and the way that I conduct my business. I am sorry if any of the actions I took made you feel unsafe.
She's kind of watching you and watching you avoid the eye contact. And just
not a full avoidance, just a glance up and down.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
And she just sort of tucks that in her mind. I don't think I fully understand why you did those things. It was just very much a surprise, and it all happened very fast. And suddenly people were dead.
Yes. The world moves fast.
Something
I'm
I'm
sure you
learning.
know a few things about that.
I think I'm learning it.
Now I would like an apology for the same moment and things resulting after. You said that you did not know what infraction you had committed. Thinking back to that moment, is that still something you hold to? I am very able to see my own shortcomings and mistakes.
She takes a moment to think and recall. And I'm sorry that I didn't move. That I didn't take any action. All I can say is that it happened fast, and I did not understand what was happening. And I didn't want to make a choice that I would regret.
Stop. Good try.
What?
No, I think that issue that you speak of ties more into my second problem with you. No, you worship the ground that Matthias walks on. That is not something that I hold any ill will towards. It is simply an observation. In that moment, I acknowledge that I made mistakes. I did things that were rash and based on emotion. I did not trust where I should have. As a result of that, someone who I was trying to save was killed inches from me, and then I was injured to the point of unconsciousness. I woke up to find you in my face. And when I reacted in a way that I think was appropriate, you told me that no one was going to hurt me. You lied. Intentionally or not, if Matthias had decided to go through with hurting me, you would not have stopped him.
I would have stopped him.
I cannot trust that because, Barden, you treat me like a child or some feral thing that can be loved into behaving, and that is not who I am. You are right, I am not one of your stories.
Then help me understand you.
I do not need you to understand me. I need you to treat me as an equal. I am not an injured child.
Because I have been trying to help you, you see that as an act of infantilization?
Trying to look at things I have asked you to not look for, coming close to me when I have specifically said that it is something I am not comfortable for, that is not help, Barden.
Okay. That. Yes. I apologize for that.
Thank you.
I am sorry. I know all I want to do is help, and if that is not helping you, then she kind of even leans back in her seat. Never again. I will try and do my best to help in other ways if you'll allow it. But it's what I'm made for. No, I want to protect people, and that was how I knew how to do it. And I will step back.
Very well.
I'm sorry for not listening to you the first time.
You are not the first that acts in their own perceptions and self-interests. I accept your apology. The second, a bit more important, a bit more dangerous. Interesting that you went first to an apology about your inaction in that moment, because that was the first moment that I noticed it. That you, Barden, do not seem to like taking stands. Yes, you're in action at the boat. Also, you're in action when speaking further on what to do with the criminals. Asking others what you should do. Bowing out. Many would see that as something less. In my experience, pardon, there are two types of people who do such things. Spineless fools. And those who have a great interest in concealing what their true thoughts and opinions are. I do not think you are a spineless fool, Barden, do you?
Trying not to be.
Do you understand the accusation I am leveling at you?
I think you're asking for secrets.
I don't need your secrets, Barden. I need to know that you are not going to hurt this mission or the people in it. Because you are working for someone that we do not know.
Me? Oh, no. Sorry. No.
For a well-placed laugh, you need no apology.
The closest
Barden?
thing I have to someone directing me is Siren.
I am going to be very clear that you are not going to convince me out of this suspicion, so I suggest you either get better at lying or choose your positions and stick to them.
I'm trying to be stronger in my opinions and be faster in enacting them. And you're right, I got that advice from Matthias. With his support of actually doing something was worse. Oh, no. Not doing something is worse. And you're right, I respect him. I've known him since I was a child. He is the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm trying to go out in the world and make it better. Because otherwise, I would be at home, probably moving books around, which my father would prefer. And actually, if I may, just for a second, you've been very confusing. The first night you try and sleep with me, which I'm not blaming you for. I mean, everyone has their needs. And then you steal a family book. And yeah, I didn't tell you off because I thought it was harmless. But I feel like there's maybe more to that. Another well-placed laugh. We're joining in now.
The book.
Yeah.
You can play confident as well as doubtful, Barden. Amazing. Yes, the book. You did have an issue with it.
I didn't know you that well. There's no point starting a fight.
Do you
over
know
something
why
as
I stole it,
inconsequential.
Barden?
No, I don't.
Because if you had asked that night, I would have told you I wanted you to confront me, to take a stand. I'm sorry. That was it. You know that people tend to say their true thoughts and feelings when they speak in conversations like this, when they actually confront one another? Otherwise, it's all covered in flowers and beautiful language to get what you truly want without ever actually speaking it. I would like to have a conversation. What you meant was we need to have a conversation. You would not like it. These conversations, this is what I have wanted to have with you. But because you have smoothed it over, we are having it now. I'm sorry for taking your book.
Would have been easier just to ask me.
If I had asked you, we would not have had a confrontational conversation.
I guess you
I do not want pleasantries, Barton. I want truth.
Sometimes you can have both, but I get what you mean. Truth.
Let me make one thing clear. I am loyal to this mission and this party. I will do almost anything to protect it.
Oh, Ashley frozen? Oh, no, cool. You were just very still. Sorry, just wanted to double check.
I'm just very good at being
Yeah.
still.
Mm-hmm. I want the same. I want knowledge. I want all of them to be safe. I want to be able to keep everyone safe. And I want to see it.
Barton, that was a threat. Oh.
Noted.
Is this what you wanted from this conversation?
I know what you think of me. We have swapped apologies to your... Do you agree? Are you happy with them?
I am satisfied with your apology.
I promise to be as truthful as I can to you. There are things that are mine. You can understand that. But in terms of this party and our mission, truth.
I will see that in your actions.
You will. Are we done?
Would you like me to exit?
I mean, you were busy with your work here. I'm happy to go.
I think that
Ellie.
happy was well placed. And Sig just lets you leave at your own leisure.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like a clench of her hand, and she just heads up.
I'm so sorry. I love you, Jan.
My heart is beating so fast. I'm so stressed.
You did really well. I love you so much.
Love you too.
My character is very suspicious, and
My inner Kiara is ready to start a fight, yo.
Yeah.
I literally said you weren't gonna kill her.
I did.
I know, but don't make me a liar down
people.
the road either.
Barton, don't betray the party.
As you step out, you hear a voice in your mind. A familiar voice, one that you've heard growing up in your childhood. You will have a lot of trouble keeping secrets from them. Little one. Siren. You have 25 words if you want to respond.
I'll do my best to keep secrets. But fuck, they're making it difficult. I miss you.
With that, let's do another little 5-minute break before we wrap up the rest of our episode. Get some water, decompress. Same thing to our audience. Stretch.
We still love each other, don't worry.
Oh yeah,
We love each other so much.
Lots and lots.
Mm-hmm.
Break time.
Matchy.
All right, Burb. Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, and welcome back to Strange Hungers.
We're back.
We are back. The conversation concludes. This day begins to slowly draw to a close, and Drock is a little bit more out on the deck today, a little bit more involved, talking to Asar. Still seems like they are plotting a course, and might occasionally drop a few remarks to Vicer Matthias just to let you two know that you seem to be underway and heading in the right direction up towards the edge of the peninsula of Falkreath. Kiara, at one point, after your training with Matthias has concluded, Asar clambers his way down from the crow's nest and says, "Horizon looking pretty clear," to Wine, who then sort of trades out and climbs up, and then steps over to you. And he is holding a sketchbook, and he's got some bottles in his arm. It looks like he was working on something up at the top of the crow's nest, and then leans in and says, "I had an idea. An interesting idea.
I love ideas.
Do you have a second?"
Yes.
Okay. And he reaches out for your hand, grabs it, tugs you along down first flight of stairs, second flight of stairs, down into the base of the hull of the Guild Star itself. There are some interesting kind of mechanic machinery elements down here in the very bottom of the boat. You can actually see that there's not a lot of space because it looks like these sails that like fold out when the boat is like underwater kind of tuck in down here. So there's a bunch of like folded up material along the sides, as well as these like glass panes. So you can kind of like see out down here on the bottom into the water, which is surprisingly clear currently as the sun is gonna set the next hour or so. And he like lifts up one of these sails. You can see it like kind of folds out in a almost like a fan style, lifts it up and then like pushes it to the side. It's very strong material, so you guys can kind of like sit on them. You said you might be interested in some kind of picture, and so I started sketching out a few different ideas, just feeling inspired by your energy and the voyage we're undertaking and the idea of the waste, but I wanted to get your input to see if there was some kind of design or pattern that you were more interested in. And you also said that you might have some kind of story, and usually I like to do the design for the person inspired in part by their story, and I do have some stores of the special ink left, and I was like, you know, since I am just meeting your group and I want to make a good impression on all of Sig's friends, I thought maybe I could give you a steep discount for this first one if you will give me something really interesting to be inspired by, and then if any of your other companions want something, like we can talk about that, and I can talk to Drock and see if there's somewhere we can stop off by. So,
A story?
Have something?
Yes. First, have you been to Abjur?
I've traveled a little bit in Abjur, but I'm more of a saltwater kind of guy myself.
Well, that's very interesting because I don't have that much experience with saltwater. I grew up in the heart of Abjur, and we had beautiful lakes and lakes that were known for the some of the temples that seemed to be floating on them. But what I loved about the lakes was always the big ones had waves and beaches.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a freshwater beach?
No.
It feels like the entire world is your bathtub. You can go in and it's warm and it's comforting and you can see and nothing stings and nothing burns, and I'm not the world's strongest swimmer. I haven't spent much time around the waters, but I have never seen anything like that. And you being a water person, I imagine that you would it's a whole bright, colorful world down there.
I could show you.
Yes?
I'm a very good swimmer.
Really?
Excellent. Yeah, if you need help, if you've never been down.
No. The lakes are not that deep.
I could show you. But those temples.
Yes.
Do you have any stories about those? What happens?
Well, my favorite temple shines beautiful, golden, under the bright sun. And while I mentioned the lakes with the freshwater beaches, the temples are far off inside, places where the water is completely still, completely calm. And I imagine walking on ice might be a bit like that, but it's almost as still as a mirror, which means the temple is multiplied from every angle. You can never be sure how many there are. And as you approach closer, the temple, you notice that it is not entirely gold, because bespeckled throughout are these bright, shining gems, red, green, blue, riches that honestly you wouldn't see outside a dragon's hoard. But
I've heard those stories.
these are for the people. No king is allowed to come take them. The only ones allowed to use these jewels are the healers within.
How do they use them?
To heal, to cure, to treat, and because powerful magic that truly can do, well, the things magical healing is known for, it comes at a cost. Like everything, I suppose. But it requires something pure, something strong, something the world has taken millennia to create. So we take something from the world to give it back.
That's a nice story. Thank you. And then he turns around his sketchbook and he shows you what he's been drawing while you've been talking, sketching. It's an image of a leaping tiger. But there is a sort of mirror identical tiger underneath that is slightly distorted, almost like it's being seen through the waves of water. There's a line between them and then a small sun underneath the one that's sleeping. So it almost looks, if you turn it around, that one of them is sleeping and one of them is awake, but then as you rotate it, you can see the ripples actually shift with it. There's some kind of ink he's used so that no matter which tiger is on the bottom, it always looks like it's seen through water.
Mm-hmm. That is without a doubt the most beautiful piece of art I've ever seen.
Really?
Yes.
That is a very nice compliment. But I can adjust it if you like, and I can change the design and just seem to suit you. I saw you had a little cat trailing after you before on the deck.
I did?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a friend of yours.
Yes. One of my best friends, but I didn't know she was here.
Well, if she has some time, I'm not always super good with animals, but I do like them a lot.
I think Kiara's gonna just take a moment and reach out to Agnetha to see if they want to come chill for a minute.
A warm presence, a connection. You hear a purr in your mind. He's kind of cute.
He is. And he's talented.
And you feel that warmth over your shoulder again and then again. And just sort of like emerging from your hair, a cat tail, 2 paws, and a little head of a miniature cat with tiger stripes.
Little guy.
Yeah, just hanging out. And Asar like flushes, his face goes from that like sort of blue-green to an almost deeper purple, making his freckles stand out. You see the tips of his ears actually quivering. He like shuffles his hand through his mullet and then reaches out and just under the chin, it kind of squishes the face and it from the cat before it pulls back into your hair, and then the warmth fades away.
Yeah.
That is very, very cute, and I wish I could do that. I mean, I wonder if there's some kind of like, if I could design one that like animates up off of my. Well, do you want me to get
Yes.
started?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And well, Kara takes off her pants.
Where is this tattoo going?
It is going to go
Ass.
around the curve of the hip.
Amazing. Athar begins this tattoo. It will take him a while. He's using up the last remainder of his like free magical ink before anyone has to buy it. And probably the next day or next episode, he will be able to show you the effects of this tattoo, which will allow Kiara to breathe underwater.
Yay! I put a picture of the placement in the chat.
Excellent. Okay. That is towards the evening.
Kiara, my beloved.
Yes.
While Matthias and Kiara are training on the deck a little bit back in time, Neve had stepped out from whatever she was doing, hiding, and steps over near to you, Chazriel, and is just watching the two of them as they are at it. Seems to kind of be studying and focusing. I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to her yet.
I have not. Hi, Neve.
Hi,
Azrael.
Chazriel?
Mm-hmm.
What are they working on?
Kiara wanted to be a little bit more effective in combat with a weapon. She's already amazing as far as magical capabilities go.
She knows magic too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I wanted to learn for a while.
Magic or fighting?
Well, more magic. I mean, I'm not entirely defenseless. And she, the two little like mini scimitar daggers that she showed Matthias, she pulls them out of her corset and flips them around in her hands and then tucks them back in.
Excellent. This won't be starting from scratch then.
Huh?
I know Matthias mentioned doing some training with you.
Very briefly, but I was excited about the prospect.
I'm actually going to be taking over for him. If that's all right.
I mean, you're very tall. I don't know if I'd really be able to even land some kind of blow unless I was very quick.
And that's exactly the type of training I'm going to give you, because and I'll summon my psionic daggers. I'm more of a dexterous fighter than Matthias or Barden, for that matter.
Reaches out a hand and just sort of like passes it through the blade. That is very cool. Can you teach me to do that?
Let's run that by your mother.
My mother?
I'm their dad.
Sorry. Let's run that by your dad.
Well, I like that because she goes, I am not really talking to my mom right now.
So, I'm sorry. I meant your dad. Or
Do you mean Oash?
is my information incorrect?
No, I can run it by my dad. I can do that.
Oh my god. Is it obvious on Neve's face that, like, as Taz said something like
give me insight.
oh my, oh, I can do that. I'm an expert in insight. 21.
You just, the confusion makes you think that there's a little something there. It's not that you're just not sure if the relationship is. She didn't understand, and she probably would have understood, but she does seem to claim a wish as a relative in some way.
Okay.
I can ask them.
Yeah, my understanding is they'll be teaching me some arcane abilities, and I don't want to.
They're supposed to help me.
Step on any toes for that.
No, I completely understand. I'll definitely ask them if that's okay. Did they? No. Yes. So daggers and training and stuff. I have to, of course, ask Captain if I'm allowed, because I'm still kind of paying back my passage with a lot of labor and helping out. But I mean, they did say it would be useful for me to have skills to protect myself in case anything happened on the boat.
Well, do you have any tasks that you're supposed to be doing right now, or do you have a free moment, at least for me to assess your abilities?
I have a free moment. You think she's lying?
Well, that's not my problem.
No.
I shoot the daggers, go away, and instead I pull out my own daggers, and essentially I just kind of launch into a fight, like immediately. I'm not like,
trying to hurt.
And also, like, if I were to roll to hit, I'm like coming within an inch of skin. I'm not actually like, because these are my legitimate pointy stab daggers.
I gave you wooden weapons.
They're not on me right now, and it's just a little test. It's just a little test. It's
give me one attack roll.
My child, why don't you? I'll kill you.
That's a natural 20, Alex.
I'll kill you.
I thought it would be. You stab towards Neve, and then you pull back at the last second, but her face goes like full raw flush, and she thinks, like, was not expecting this.
God.
Fully steps back and then just like crashes over her own feet, and her daggers go skidding.
And Taz is laughing, and then holds out.
No, I got it. She stands up and like leans over to pick up her daggers, and then she takes one of her daggers and tries to stab it towards your ankle as she's standing up.
Okay, I like it.
It's a pretty underhanded move. With a 7 to hit.
Okay, well, Taz literally pushed a kid over and then laughed at them, so...
I didn't push anybody over.
PTA on your ass.
I didn't push anyone. I didn't even touch you.
Neve fully telegraphs this as well. Like, she kind of pauses while she's going to pick up the daggers. You can tell that she's going to do something and just completely whiffs as you step away. But setting that tone for the course of the little fight training session that you have, she doesn't do super well. Although she is proficient with these weapons, she's not, I would say her modifier isn't that great, and it's kind of the only training that she has, meaning that like she would be fine likely against like a monstrous, rabid, like little creature that tried to bite her, but she wouldn't do very well against anyone with more training. So you begin to learn some of the extent of her abilities, and I'll just tell you, I believe I have to check, but her dexterity is just a +1.
Okay. Once this like little mini fight of us is finished, I'll put my daggers away, and I'll say, there's a lot to work on, but I will say you did much better than I did when my superior officers pulled this on me at the academy.
I think you're just trying to be nice.
You can insight that. I'm not lying. Taz was fucking terrible. Like,
72.
Terrible.
But I appreciate it all the same. Thank you. We can definitely keep going, but maybe we can go back to some more basics. Because if you try and pull that on me again, I don't need to be good with a dagger to get it in somewhere dangerous when you're not paying attention.
Vic laughs. He looks at Neve. You are going to make an excellent fighter.
Thank you.
Next time, I've got wooden weapons for us, so we'll go a little bit more.
Neve! Neve! And you hear calling from below decks. Coming! She like just runs off in the middle of you talking about getting different weapons.
If this is happening during the Maddie and Kiara, y'all might have noticed that out of the corner of your eye.
You guys saw Taz push a kid.
I didn't push anybody.
What is he doing?
Neve fell. I didn't even touch.
Are you yelling that across at us? What are we looking at you accusatorily?
No, I'm ignoring you two. I'm just saying I didn't touch anybody. Play back the tape.
You all make your preparations for the evening. Datari's cooking is quite good. They have some really nice spices, and also, like I said, picked up some things that any of you guys had requested, a particular flavor from home or a particular kind of tea. And so everyone is turning in for the evening. You will once again gain the benefits of just a short rest until the next day. But Barden, as you are getting ready, and if you're sleeping with Taz and Kiara again, there's a light knock on one of those wooden doors, and Drock is standing on the other side. Could I speak to Barden, please?
Yeah. I think Barden's half dressed at this point. Like, there's the wrap, and she's in like sleep pants. She's like, yeah, sure.
That's fine.
Just a second. Follow you?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. Bye. I'm just.
She takes you into her captain's quarters. This is an area underneath the prow of the boat. None of you have been in here except for Sig. As she takes a key off of a necklace, unlocks it, and then tucks it back in, pushes open. The interior is very different than what you've seen of the rest of the boat. It is as maximalist as possible. Total health, moving castle, baubles hanging. There are sort of like these prow windows, but they are almost entirely covered by some kind of like shimmering metallic paper that changes the light in here, different colors spilling across, just like
I literally have that in my room.
Yes, strange weaponry. Looks like a bunch of different little pots and things. The desk is covered with maps and books, navigator's tools. There is a very elegant sort of spinning chair that can face out towards the front of the boat or back towards the desk, and then a few seats to pull out from under the desk, and one slightly larger armchair. Also looks like there are some everlit torches in here, these like little lanterns with these flickering purple flames inside. A lot of valuables, you think.
Barden's just looking around at everything and just a little bit of not quite awe, but just like, I love your room.
You like my collection?
What's the name of the collection?
Doesn't have a name, just things I found interesting, maybe looking for buyers.
I have something similar at home. Just, lots of little things.
Would you sit down?
Okay. Goes to sit, pulls out a.
You're not in any trouble. You're a client. Don't worry.
Okay. Sits up.
Closes the door, steps around, and then sits down in her chair in a very languid motion, throws her feet up and crosses her ankles, and then sort of sprawls out and relaxes.
Kind of follows suit.
Asar said something to me. He said you have had some trouble with tattoos.
Yeah, she's watching. Just watching their face. They don't seem to stick.
No. They don't seem to stick. How?
I don't know, the artist puts the ink in, and an hour later, well, a couple of minutes later, and it's gone.
Interesting. I notice, and I don't mean to pry when it comes to appearance. Were you born with that?
The vitiligo, right? She looks around the room. The door is closed. And before she answers, is this room secure?
Leans over and taps on what looks like a set of little silver bells. So they start swinging side to side with a quiet noise. Yes, as long as these are playing.
Can I trust you with it?
We don't
Actually,
know
that's
each
a
other.
loaded question.
You don't have to trust me with anything. You can speak plainly to me.
In a sense, then. Yes.
Interesting. Well, then, do you mind if I get a little bit more comfortable?
Barden is a bit breathless. Just like all the breath has gone out of her lungs, and she's just.
She just like is still wearing the captain's coat. She takes it off, hangs it over the back, and then you see Drock's warm, darker skin tone change slightly. The long silvery hair pulls up a bit. Her ears go from pointed to sort of.
Oh. Oh. Oh no, frozen.
I'm letting. Okay,
They're back.
you're back.
Hello. Excellent. Pointed ears go a little bit more flat towards the back of the head, and Brock Gram no longer looks like the figure you first saw when you stepped on to this boat, but instead an almost translucent silver skin, dark eyes, slightly pointed teeth, and a wide feral grin as some kind of creature leans towards you over the desk.
It's definitely more comfortable, isn't it? I've never met anyone else like me. You exist.
We are few and far between, and
There are more?
very. Yes, of course.
I thought I was alone.
No.
And Barton takes a deep breath. And as she exhales, she shrinks. Her skin goes from that deep green blue to the paleness of the vitiligo, the same translucent skin, deep black eyes with white pupils, ears shrinking, her hair shrinking back into feathery pale white that fluffs up, skin, fingers pointed yet still missing the end of that pinky finger, and horns over the top of her head and a tail that sweeps back and forth as she considers this, and her clothes obviously remain on, but they sort of billow as they sort of undo the mask that she'd taken in. She's Hello?
Look at you. I don't have
This-
horns.
You do look different. I always thought that they would look the same. But you're like me.
Yes.
And also, I'll mention that Barden's current form struggles to smile. Just the way that their face is built, you can just see it in their eyes. They emote mostly with their eyes at this point.
You are slightly different than Drock. The way your mouth is shaped, the horns, even the tail. Although they do have one, it's shorter, different. Drock is less feathery, more kind of hard, I would say. Your skin is more translucent. Theirs is a duller color. Comparatively, it's almost like someone turned up the dial on Drock to get to you. You are more alien in every way, but still kin. Do the rest of your expedition know about this?
No.
That is wise.
Only 3 people know.
Only 3. You don't have my crew, everyone here. They know.
They know. And you are
In
not hurt.
part. They know most of them haven't seen this. But they've seen a few of my friends.
You call them friends. I call them stories.
Well,
Nice.
maybe we could talk about it a little bit further.
I like that. She puts her hand out, and it's this very pale, again, translucent, but slightly clawed hands. Puts them out for them to take. My name is Novel. It's good to meet you.
It is nice to meet you, Novel. And that is where we are going to end our episode for today.
Ah! New name drop?
Oh my god!
Hello. Vic, you're muted.
Vic's muted.
Is this why your dad calls you my little story? God damn it.
That's cute.
I thought that was just the library thing. Oh my
That's
fucking
real
God.
cute.
So cute. Oh my god.
Well, thank you to One More Multiverse for our maps. As always, if you want to check out and interact with more of our audience or see some behind the scenes stuff, you're going to go head on over to discord.gg/multiverse, where we have a little fan chatting channel. Excuse me. Also, thank you to Soundtail for our music and our sweet vibes. Keep an eye out. There is no Tragedy of Theologian this Sunday, but we do have, I believe, a Strange Hungers episode next week, and maybe some other long shot announcement stuff brewing now that Power Rangers is over. So go follow us on Twitter at Total Party Kiss, on Instagram at Total Party Kiss, and on YouTube if you want to catch up with VODs or see when we release more content.
Thanks, everybody.
Holy fuck me.
Bye.
Love you guys. Episode. Bye.